Hello everyone, welcome to Other Levels. Today you're gonna learn how can you create this amazing profits and loss dashboard with creative slicer icons using Microsoft Excel, and as always without VBA codes. So let's start. These are the color codes and font types used in the design. You can get all our templates fully customizable by visiting our online store, other-levels.com. When you purchase this template, you will get the dark theme and the white theme, as well as the Mac version and Windows version. This is the database used and contains months, business name and icons, then income and expenses, and CapEx and OpEx. Then the operating expenses, finally the debts, tax, and the final revenue. As for this data table, this is what we will create the business information from. And we will explain to you how you can extract data from several data tables using only one slicer. And the last is for showing the dashboard last update date. As usual, at first, add a new sheet tab for the dashboard. Remove the grid lines and headings. And set background color in black. Then insert a rounded rectangular shape. It will be to add a distinctive color to the border of the dashboard from the left side. The colors used and the dimensions of the shapes will be shown in all our videos. Then we copy the same shape and add gradient colors to it, which will be the background for the dashboard. Please check the color codes, positions, and transparency. Now we are done with the background design. Let's start with the logo and dashboard title. Now we will start adding the first value, which is the net revenue. All the shapes used in the dashboard are round rectangles. For copying, press Ctrl plus Shift and drag to right. Instead of inserting a new text box, copy one of the previous text boxes for convenience. The word net will be in a font smaller than the font size used in the word revenue. And we will also make it regular font. The word net will be in a font smaller than the font size used in the word revenue. And we will also the thickness will be regular. Small touches make a big difference. To add a beautiful design to this part, we need to create a shape that is not included in the list of shapes in the Excel library. So we will do the following. Insert a rounded rectangle shape and then rotate it by 17 degrees. Set the colors to be gradient with the two primary colors of the dashboard. Then put it above the shape, and now we will use the PowerPoint to use the fragment feature. Just select the two shapes and go to Shape Format, then Fragment. Delete the below part and recolor the top part to black color. Very nice. Now we will create the first pivot table to extract the total amount of the net revenue. To learn more about pivot tables, please watch the playlist above. Always preserve the formatting of databases and pivot tables, even if they are not visible to others. All we need is to put the revenue in the value box to give us the total. Copy a text box. Then add in the formula bar and equals sign, and then choose the cell that contains the total in the pivot table sheet. We want to show the average percentage of net revenue. We do not need to insert a new pivot table each time. We will only copy the first pivot table for ease. Therefore, we will repeat the previous steps. Finally, add the word average in small font. Next, the total debt will appear, and we will draw a beautiful shape using several forms of parallelograms and also triangles. Make the colors several shades of gray. Now we will include the total debts through the pivot table as well, with the same previous steps. It is always better that the cells below the pivot table be empty and all tables are arranged horizontally next to each other. And we separate between them using a line. The next part shows the total taxes and their percentage. But its design will be different from the others. We will include a column chart showing the total taxes on a monthly basis. All we are going to do is add the months in the row field, and taxes in the field of values. For the total of taxes, we will add it in a separate cell and link the text box on the dashboard to it. This will be better to avoid errors during the updates. Choose the pivot table, then insert the column chart. Cut and paste the chart into the dashboard. Then delete all items from the chart. Add the color of the columns with white, but make the transparency 96%. Go to the Design menu and add a trend line to the chart. As you can see, the borders of the chart appear outside the frame. And we do not want to make the chart smaller so that it is in the middle. But we want it to fill the width of the round rectangle. So we will hide the edges by covering them. The shape border color must match the background color. Repeat the same previous steps. The ratio here will be constant, which is 14.25%. We're done here now. We will now move on to adding the admin's picture with the addition of the date of the last dashboard update. Insert a circle as the background of the image. Then insert the image, crop the image, but using a circular crop, so that the borders of the image are identical to the circular background shape. Now we will start implementing a creative slicer that contains icons instead of words. We will put the name of the icon at the top. Choose one of the pivot table, then go to the Insert menu and choose Slicer. We are now using Microsoft Excel with Mac version. The icons library contains many beautiful and high-definition emojis. As for users of the Windows version, they will be able to insert symbols from the Excel library, but they are not good as these. Choose a good icon for business names. In this project, we have headquarter, websites, and branches. These are the icons we chose. Now we want to hide the header from the slicer. Click right-click and choose Slicer Settings. Then uncheck the Display Header. When you buy this dashboard, you will find both Windows and Mac versions in white and dark themes. This is the only difference that will be in the Windows version, as the icons will be images and names of the businesses that have been implemented in the slicer. Unfortunately, in the Mac version, we cannot modify the slicers. So these are the modifications that were did from the Windows version and are very simple. First, the header and whole slicer. Fill it with the same background color. Then remove borders. Secondly, selected item with data. Enlarge the font to make the selected icon appear in a larger size. Then delete the borders and add the same color as before. Third, unselected item with data. Reducing the font so that the icon that was not selected appears in a smaller size. Then delete the borders and add the same color as before. Fourthly, hovered selected item with data. Choose the same settings in the selected item with data. Finally, hovered unselected item with data. Make the font larger to appear when hovered over it. As you can see, it looks very beautiful. Below we will add the informations of each business. This is the table from which we will extract the data. We only need a pivot table that shows the name of the business that was chosen from the slicer. We also need a table that contains all the names of the 3 business names in this project. Finally, the table will have the equations that will extract the title and the details. I will explain the equation first. If the name chosen from the slicer is equal to the same name in the second table, so we want the data in the correct cell from the database sheet. The equation will be as follows. Type equal if, select the pivot table cell, type equal then choose the first business name, comma and select the correct cell from the database. Then a comma and 2 quotation marks. 2 quotation marks means if wrong keep the cell empty. Let's try choosing the headquarters from the slicer. So the equation works. But we want to add the rest of the possibilities, which are the websites and branches. So we will remove the 2 quotations marks and instead copy the equation and paste it, while changing the correct cells in both the business names table and the main table in the database sheet. Press F4 to freeze cells in slicers and names. To not change it when we repeat the equation. Drag the equation to reflect the remaining data. Now link text boxes to each cell. Excellent. Now we will create a line chart showing the profits during the months, with your dynamic indicator showing the most profitable months. The chosen design appears as if there are line charts in the back. So we want to add a shadow and change the sizes of the rounded rectangle in the back. And use different colors. A distinctive look in line with the general theme of the dashboard. The pivot table need only the months and the profits. Then insert a line chart and delete the chart title and the legend only. In the next video, we will start implementing the dynamic indicator and complete the rest of the dashboard. I hope you enjoyed something today. See you in the next video. Have a good day.